sound better.
Okay, this is going to be a cool one. For the first oscillator, I want to go to spectral and let's choose Monster 8. And for oscillator B, I want to make a custom wavetable or a custom waveform basically, because I'm not going to use it as a wavetable, but let's make something similar to this. Okay, maybe I need to lower the volumes here. Okay, cool. Let's process it, normalize each. Okay, I think that's cool. And what I want to do here is use oscillator A as a modulator for oscillator B. So on oscillator B, I want to choose FM from oscillator A. And obviously, I don't want oscillator A to go out from the synth. I only want to use it as a modulator. So like before, I want to use LE41 as a wobble effect basically on oscillator B level. Nice. And let's add FM modulation on the oscillator B oscillator B warping mode. Something like this, but right now the octave is too low, so let's drop it higher, like by 2 octaves. And it instantly turns alive. Okay, now maybe a warping mode on oscillator A can come handy, so let's pick the PWM mode. Something like this. So let's use LE41 on set, like, but this time in the opposite direction. Okay, that's cool, but let's pull back the random on both of the oscillators. And let's choose the phase on oscillator B to the beginning, and on oscillator A, like here. I want to use LE4 on trigger mode, so it always starts from the beginning whenever I hit a note on my keyboard. Okay, that's cool. Let's add an HP filter, like always, to make the sound a little talky. Let's crank up the resonance, add some drive to it, and the frequency, which is a peak filter, basically, should be somewhere like this. And let's use LE41 to modulate the cutoff and the resonance also. Okay, but right now let's make a little different shape for LE41, like on 1/2, something like this. So it's a whole lot different now. Okay, a sub oscillator is always needed. Let's go direct out. And I always like to choose a distorted sine wave instead the simple sine wave. There is not too much difference between the two sine waves, by the way. Only difference is that the distorted sine wave contains some additional harmonics, so it sounds a little fatter and harder. Cuts through the mix a little better, basically. Okay, I think we are done here in the main page, so let's go to the effects. And like always, let's choose the hyperdimension. And now the tricky part comes when I use an EQ, where I try to make a vowel-y kind of modulation on the sound. So right now, let's make some thick peaks, basically. And what I want to do is modulate the frequency of the EQ dots using LFO 1, but in an opposite direction. It already sounds a lot more monstery. Okay, very cool. And to even out those frequencies, so to make it sound a lot better, we need an OTT. Okay, as I told you before, I really love the Allpass filter. So let's try to put this before the OTT. Let's choose miscellaneous, Allpass. And this already gives some really nice noisy character to it, but I don't want to go full 100% wet, just like about 50. Okay, cool. Let's call in the delay tricky effect. So let's pull up the feedback. Let's link the right and the left delayed signs, and let's choose something about, well, it depends on what key you want to use this, because from this point, the LFO has its own frequency, and your sound, your core sound has a frequency also, so you need to match them. I'm using now G0, so I want to find the exact frequency for the delay, which is very hard, by the way. But I think it's fine now. And the reverb at the end. And what I want to do is I want to play a little with this reverb. So what I want to do is use another LFO, and I want to activate the reverb at the very end of a modulation, basically. So I want to use an S sort of shape here. Yeah, something like this, but on 1/2, and let's drop it on the mix of the reverb. Okay, the tempo on the project is a little low, so let's set it to, well, 150 or 160, it depends on the, well, on your taste. Okay, now it's a little too wet in the first section, what I don't want. And if you want to have more drastic effect, put the reverb before the compressor. Okay, this is a very nice effect, and maybe you want to combine this sound with some other tweaks. actually pretty like this sound. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed this, and in the next video we're going to make another very cool rhythm bass.